Can you solve all these Andrea Gibson questions? Who is Andrea Gibson?
Excellent. A spoken word poet is a well-reasoned choice.
What pronouns does Andrea Gibson use?
Well picked. Them is the correct answer.
Where is Andrea Gibson originally from?
Strong choice. Calais, Maine is the right answer.
Andrea Gibson uses their platform to promote.
Good job. Social change works well.
What does Andrea Gibson use poetry to challenge?
Perfect. Cultural norms is the correct choice.
What subject does Andrea Gibson often link with love?
Bravo. Politics is the answer.
What city is considered Andrea Gibson's artistic home?
Nice work. Boulder fits perfectly.
What is a hallmark of Andrea Gibson's public readings?
Well done. Emotional connection with audience is the right choice.
Which of the following has Gibson often spoken against?
Right again. Toxic masculinity is a valid answer.
What poetic form is most common in Andrea Gibson's work?
Excellent choice. Free verse is the right answer.
What creative tool does Gibson use during live readings?
You got it? Your choice music fits well.
Andrea Gibson is best known for performing in which genre?
You're right. Slam poetry is the correct answer.
In what year did Andrea Gibson publish Take Me With You?
Clear logic. Your choice 2018 is sound.
Which major literary platform has showcased Andrea Gibson?
On track. Button poetry is the correct answer.
Andrea Gibson is a leading voice in which literary movement?
Correct. Contemporary queer literature is spot on.
Andrea Gibson has been a vocal critic of which societal issue?
You chose transphobia. Correct.
What does Gibson hope audiences feel after their performances?
Smart move. Empowerment is an accurate answer.
What kind of communities does Andrea Gibson often write about?
Nice selection. Marginalized voices is the correct and valid answer.
Andrea Gibson often explores the intersection of love and dash.
Great job. Mental illness is the accurate answer.
Andrea Gibson frequently collaborates with which kind of artist?
Correct response. Musicians is the most accurate answer.
What physical item has Andrea Gibson sold along with their poetry?
Solid response. Journals is a valid choice.
Andrea Gibson is often associated with what kind of emotional tune?
Exactly. Vulnerability makes sense.
Andrea Gibson's work primarily advocates for which of the following?
Nicely done. Lucky Baku plus rights is a solid answer.
Andrea Gibson has performed on which prominent public radio program?
Well reasoned. All things considered is the correct choice.
What US city has hosted many of Andrea Gibson's major performances?
Valid point. Boulder is true.
Andrea Gibson has been open about living with which medical condition?
Good thinking. Cancer is the right answer.
In addition to poetry, Andrea Gibson has also worked in which of these media?
Great thinking. Audiobooks is the right choice.
Andrea Gibson has used their art to raise awareness about which of the following?
Sharp thinking. Mental health is the right choice.
How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format?
Smart pick. Contact Narayan Changda is the correct choice.